House will come back to order. The House will come back to order. Mr. Clerk, you want to ring the bell? Clerk will read the caption to a group of privileged resolutions. The clerk will read.
Recognizing July 26, 2015 is the 25th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. Commending David Martin, Covenant Academy's 2015 Star Teacher. Commending Randy Glover, Jones County High School's 2015 Star Teacher. Commending Drew Bellflower, Bleckley County High School's 2015 Star Student. Commending Brian Wynn, Bleckley County High School's 2015 Star Teacher. Commending Emily London, Covenant Academy's 2015 Star Student. Commending Adam Soul, Jones County High School 2015 Star Student. Commending Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, STEM, and recognizing May 8, 2015 as Georgia STEM Day at the state capitol. Commending Casey Lambert, Loganville High School's 2015 Star Student. Commending Mrs. Dupe Atoki, the Director General of Consumer Protection Council. Commending Dr. William H. Boone. Commending Gavin Ashwood, Loganville Christian Academy's 2015 Star Student. Commending Albany State University and recognizing March 31st, 2015 as Albany State University Day at the state capitol. Recognizing and commending Bishop Victor L. Powell on the occasion of his 25th pastoral anniversary and for other purposes. That completes the reading of the privileged resolutions.
Is there any objection to adopting the privileged resolutions? The chair hears none and the resolutions are adopted. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 194. Senate Bill 194.
Senate Bill 194 by Senator Jeffries, the 17th, be titled an act to amend Article 1 of Chapter 4, Title 26, the official Georgia Code of Annotated relating to general provisions regarding pharmacists and pharmacies. This bill has been referred to Committee on Health and Human Services. The committee recommends that this bill do pass by committee substitute.
Chair recognizes the chair of the Health and Human Services Committee, Chairman Cooper, to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the members of the House, I bring you the House Health and Human Services Committee substitute to Senate Bill 194. What we have is the bill from the Senate, and then we have a rider from the House that's been added on. And there is an amendment, a friendly amendment that goes along with it. The Senate part of the bill is about something that Baxter Drugs is going to do. We have a new Baxter facility going up in our state. And Baxter is going to be able to ship in, with the passage of this bill, the drug that people who have end-stage renal disease and they do home dialysis use. Now, it comes, and when we say a drug, it is like a 500 cc's of normal saline, like you have hung in the hospital for you. And these people put this drug, or put this fluid into their abdomens through, an opening during the night while they're asleep, several bottles of this, and that is how they do their renal dialysis. And Baxter has it where there's an order made from the physician. It goes to their pharmacist in another state. They okay it, and Baxter ships it basically directly to patients in Georgia. These are huge boxes because they have to use multiples of this every evening, and so these come and are delivered in huge packages. This is not something that our normal pharmacies do, and so it is just giving Baxter the right to ship this in their law. The amendment goes to them. They put commas in the wrong place, and it sounded like Baxter might be able to ship other drugs. And so by removing the comma, it makes it perfectly clear that the only thing that Baxter's going to be able to ship is this dialysate, which is used for home dialysis at night for patients that have end-stage renal disease. The bill that is writing with it is one that came from this House. It's about the right for pharmacists to refill prescriptions without a doctor's order and without a new prescription on ophthalmic medicines for eye drops for patients that have had eye surgery or have eye problems. As we discussed when I presented the bill before, a lot of this has to do with elderly people, and they get only 30 drops in a little bottle, and they shake and they move and they miss their eye, and the pharmacist will be able to fulfill this if they have used up 70% and are out before the 30 days is up. We did make a correction in that. The patient will have to ask for it from themselves, so they'll have to request it from the pharmacist. And also we had to go back in to a part of the pharmacy law and put the name optometrist, because optometrists can now order many of these, and they had been left out of that part of the pharmacy law, saying that they were one of the providers. And the reason for that is when the law was written, optometrists were not ordering this kind of drugs. That's the bill, and Mr. Speaker, I'll be glad to answer any questions if there are questions. If not, I'll yield the well.
There are no questions.
Thank you.
Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered on Senate Bill 194? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. There is an amendment. It's AM 281415. Is there objection to adopting the amendment? Chair hears none, and the amendment is adopted. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute as amended? The chair hears none. The committee substitute as amended is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All those in favor of the passage of Senate Bill 194 will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no, and the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, the clerk will lock the machine on the passage of Senate Bill 194. The ayes are 159, the nays are 0. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. Clerk will read the caption to Senate Bill 195. Senate Bill 195.
Senate Bill 195 by Senator Williams, the 27th, be entitled an act to amend Chapter 6 of Title 17, the official code of Georgia annotated relating to bonds and recognizance. This bill having referred to the Committee on Judiciary and Non-Civil. The committee recommends that this bill do pass by substitute.
Chair recognizes Representative Harrell to present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, this is Senate Bill 195. It deals with professional bondsmen. In Section 1, we're raising the fee for continuing education from $125 to $250. This is a request of the Bondsmen's Association so that they can obtain new CE materials and speakers. In Section 2, we are providing that if a principal fails to appear at their hearing and the bondsman forfeits that bond, then the judge will issue a bench warrant for the arrest of that person that failed to appear. In Section 3, we're adding email as an official form of communication, which aids all parties. And finally, the bill says that those that are by official government action deported or removed from the United States, that bondsman would not forfeit their bond in that instance. That is the bill. I would be glad to answer any questions.
You have a question if you care to yield.
Yes, sir, Mr. Speaker, I will yield.
Chair recognizes Representative Smith to your left for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the gentleman yield?
Yes, sir, I do.
Thank you. With respect to the email notice that you just alluded to,
yes, sir.
Is this in lieu of a paper notification as well?
It could be, yes, sir. It could be. The email notification appears on lines 39 and 53, and it provides that it would be considered an official notification as well.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Do you yield for a further question?
Yes, sir, I will.
Chair recognizes Representative Jeff Jones to your right for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the Speaker yield? For one question, does the Speaker at the well, does the gentleman at the well yield to one question?
Don't look that way.
It's a friendly question.
I would be glad to yield. When you asked if the Speaker yielded, I thought I'd better get out of the way. Yes, sir, I will yield. Yes, sir.
Is it not true that the fee increase that your bill proposes was actually requested and supported by the bondsman?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd ask for your favorable consideration. I yield the well.
Gentleman has yielded the well. Is there any objection to the previous question being ordered? The chair hears none. The previous question is ordered. Is there any objection to adopting the committee substitute? The chair hears none. The committee substitute is adopted. Is there any objection to agreeing to the report of the committee, which was favorable to the passage of the bill? The chair hears none. The report of the committee is agreed to. Shall this bill now pass? All in favor of the passage of Senate Bill 195 will vote aye. Those opposed will vote no. And the clerk will unlock the machines. Have all members voted? Have all members voted? If so, clerk will lock the machines. On the passage of Senate Bill 195, the ayes are 152, the nays are 7. This bill, having received the requisite constitutional majority, is therefore passed. House Resolution 620 will be postponed to the next legislative day. For what purpose does the chair of the Intergovernmental Coordination Committee, Chairman Tankersley, rise?
Mr. Speaker, I'd like to make a motion.
State your motion.
I move that the rules be temporarily suspended and that a resolution be read for the first time and assigned to a committee.
Clerk will read the caption.
Unnumbered House Resolution LC 106-0289 by Representative Tankersley, the 160th, urging the Congress of the United States National Institutes of Health and its National Cancer Institute to increase funding for childhood cancer research.
On the lady's motion that the rules of this House be temporarily suspended to allow a bill to be read for the first time and assigned to committee. Is there objection? Chair hears none. It is so ordered. Health and Human Services. What purpose does the Majority Caucus whip rise?
To make a motion.
State your motion.
I move that the rules of the House be temporarily suspended so a bill can be read and referred to committee.
Clerk will read the caption.
Unnumbered House Resolution LC 362812 by Representative Ramsey, the 72nd, creating the House Study Committee on the Preservation of the Hope Scholarship Program.
On the gentleman's motion that the rules of this House be temporarily suspended to allow a bill to be read for the first time and assigned to committee, is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Rules Committee. What purpose does Chairman Houston rise?
Mr. Speaker, may the rules of the House be suspended and a bill be read for the first time and
Is
assigned
that your
to
motion?
committee. That is my motion, Mr. Speaker.
Clerk will read a caption.
Unnumbered House Resolution LC 336204 by Representative Houston of the 170th, creating the House Study Committee on the Provision of Indigent and Charity Health Care Services.
On the lady's motion that the rules of this House be temporarily suspended to allow a bill to be read for the first time and assigned to committee, is there objection? The chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Health and Human Services. What purpose does Representative Clark rise?
I rise to make a motion.
State your motion.
I move that the rules be temporarily suspended so that a resolution may be read for the first time and assigned to committee.
Clerk will read the caption.
Unnumbered House Resolution LC 364677, Representative Clark of the 98th, creating the House Welfare Fraud Study Committee.
On the gentleman's motion that the rules of this House be temporarily suspended to allow a bill to be read for the first time and assigned to committee, is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Health and Human Services. What purpose does the chair of the Higher Education Committee rise?
Mr. Speaker, to make a motion that H.R. 71 be recommitted to the Higher Ed Committee.
Clerk will read the caption.
House Resolution number 71 by Representative Gordon of the 163rd, creating the House Study Committee on the Hope Scholarship Program, award amounts for critical fields of study.
On the chairman's motion that House Resolution 71 be recommitted to the Committee on Higher Education, is there objection? Chair hears none, and it is so ordered. Chair recognizes Chairman Rogers for an announcement.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If I could have the Higher Education committee meet in the ante room right now to take up several bills, and we'll be done real quickly. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Chairman Knight for an announcement.
I'd like to, as soon as the Higher Education Committee adjourns in the ante room, I'd like to get the Small Business Development Committee to meet in the ante room. We're going to take up one quick measure again, the Small Business Development Committee in the ante room as soon as the higher education's over with.
Chair recognizes Chairman Parsons for an announcement.
Thank you, Speaker. The Energy, Utilities, and Telecommunications Committee will meet upon adjournment in room 406 of the Coverdale Legislative Office Building. We have a bill to take up. Shouldn't take long, but I do need you there. 406 CLOB. Thank you.
If you have an announcement and have not signed up, the time to do so is now. Page photographs will be made at the rostrum immediately upon adjournment. Immediately upon adjournment. I think. Okay, the chair's going to assume that there are no further announcements. Chair recognizes the Majority Leader of the House for a motion.
I move this House now stand in recess until 4 p.m. today, at which time we shall adjourn until 10 a.m. Friday morning, March 27, 2015.
The Majority Leader has moved that this House be in recess until 4 o'clock p.m. today, whereupon we would stand adjourned until 10 o'clock a.m. Friday, March 27, 2015. All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed will say no. The ayes have it. This House will be in recess until 4 o'clock p.m. Then we will stand adjourned until Friday morning at 10 a.m.